All right. So I will tell you this, whether or not I allow you to go to Mexico with family depends 100% on you. If you're doing great still, then guess what? You can probably go. Okay. But you'll still need to get written permission from me.
Judgment's sprung, in and out, the verdict swung. Oouchie Court Watch, we've just begun. Oouchie Court Watch, we're on the scene. Truth's unraveling, what does it mean?
Aceves, Aceves.
Judge, Mr. Aceves indicates that his attorney won't be present today. So this is just a compliance check-in.
All right. So hi, how are you doing? Are you surviving the cold?
Yeah, very difficult.
Well, here's the thing, in San Antonio, and I have done this, but I don't do it anymore. When it's super hot, when it's 100 degrees, everybody's like, oh, it's so hot. And now we have this beautiful weather. People are like, it's so cold. I'm loving this weather. I'm just gonna own it and say I love it. You can tell the people who are from colder climates.
Mhm.
I still don't understand this. Walking around with shorts with a sweater on.
They say as long as the top half is warm, the bottom half is, they don't really get cold down there.
All right, I need somebody to do some research on that. Mahia, is there anybody willing to research that for me? I'm not gonna do it because my mom would be upset. So how's everything going with you?
Pretty good, man. Still keeping on my same job and going to probation once every month and doing the drug test and all that.
That is awesome. You've been doing a great job. Miss Abrams, is there anything else?
Judge, his probation officer indicates that there have been no issues. He's been doing very well on his probation.
Okay.
We would ask that possibly we can amend his field visits to once every other month or once every 3 months at this time, Judge.
Okay. All right, we can do field visits. We'll start you off with once every other month,
Okay.
and then slowly we'll do it to maybe once every 3 months and do that route. It's sort of like being when you send a child off to college, sometimes you've had them on lockdown and then they go to college out of state and they just lose their mind. But we're not gonna let that happen to you.
So as of right now, there are no concerns, Judge.
Okay. All right, so we'll alternate them in for field visits once every 2 months. And then what we'll do is we'll do a check-in with you and have you come in and then see how those once every 2 months go. And then we'll do something else with that, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. When do you want him back, Miss Abrams? What month?
Judge, Mr. Aceves mentioned that he'd like to travel to Mexico possibly in April. He doesn't have those dates yet.
Okay.
So maybe at the end of March or.
All right. So I will tell you this, whether or not I allow you to go to Mexico with family depends 100% on you. If you're doing great still, then guess what? You can probably go. Okay. But you'll still need to get written permission from me. So Miss Abrams will send me something with the request and I'll ask the state if they have any objections with it. Usually if you're doing well, they won't have any objections. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we can put it, you want to do the week of March 24th?
Fine, Judge.
All right, what is good day for you? Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, what day?
It's about a week through Friday at night until the next Sunday, like maybe in the morning.
No, she's asking what day is good for you to come back to court before this?
Sorry, I apologize.
No
ma'am.
problem.
It can be anytime.
All right, so do you want to come back on Monday? That's the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
You sure that's good for you?
Yes, on March.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we'll bring you back on March 24th for just a check-in update. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And again, if you have any questions about something or there's some issues, Just let probation know or let your attorney know, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, they're gonna give you a reset form and then your excuse.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Court is calling 2024 CR 010075, State of Texas versus Adalia Sobs. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Joanne Agel.
And are you Miss Sobs?
Yes.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Sabs.
Sabs, okay. Counsel, you received all discovery. Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Sabs, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Your Honor, just, sorry to interject.
I'm
here,
sorry.
but we're gonna, orderly amend the indictment.
Okay,
In the portion that states, namely, it doesn't put the name of the victim. And we're motioning the court to enter HEB.
I'm sorry, H.
HEB.
Okay,
We have no objection, Judge.
all right. All right, you understand, Ms. Sabs, that that is a substantive change to the indictment? All right, and your attorney does have up to 10 days to review the changes that the state has made. Do you wish to proceed?
Yes.
All right. All right, then you reviewed count one with the addition of the complainant as HEB?
Yes.
All right, counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Sabs, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with theft of property, $2,500 with two or more convictions for purposes of enhancement? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Judge.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Sabs, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
I have a question.
Yes.
When you said that if I was in my right mind, when that happened, is that what you're saying?
I'm asking, what I asked your attorney is whether or not you were competent. And competency has to do with the state of your mind today.
Oh, yeah.
So your attorney has told me that you were competent.
Yes.
Now, sanity has to do with your mental state at the time of the offense. And your attorney has told me that she believes you were sane at the time of the offense. So my question for you is this. Has anyone threatened you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than what you've agreed to?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her rights to jury trial. The plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications for probation or community supervision or deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and
Yes.
sign it
Yes, ma'am.
in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
No objection, Judge.
All right, state you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call it and the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if we could go off the record for a moment. Could you mute us, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. They keep telling me I need the glasses with the lines on them. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And the court is accepting that into evidence, states exhibits 1 and attachments. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Nothing, Judge.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 180 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244, and give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. If there's some mental health issues going on, they have free places for you. If you can't find a free place, you can come back here. I will help you navigate the system so that you can get help. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank
You're welcome. All right, the court is going to call 2024 CR 0150, State versus Amanda Drummond. If I could have parties approach, please. All right, and for the state,
Jason Gearhan, you're
Outside of mine.
for the defense? Defense,
on the record, your name.
Oh, Bob Hicks.
and are you Amanda Drummond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea bargain agreement. And according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. You're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. The court ordered a TAP evaluation before sentencing based upon what I reviewed in the stipulations. Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation state?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Honor.
Any objections to the TAP evaluation?
Nothing from the state.
None from the defendant.
All right.
She seems to be highly motivated for treatment.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Well, Judge, according to the TAP evaluation and the Tacoma evaluation, she has had a pretty rough life, part of which is occasioned by her drug problems.
Mhm.
And part of which is the fact that her family has basically disowned her.
All right,
She
and
does
I'm
have
sorry,
a-
just one moment. And state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you may continue.
She has a friend who is pretty much her sole support.
Mhm.
And she, as it says in the TAP evaluation, is very high. She wants treatment. She knows she's not going to be able to kick this stuff on her own, especially given what she was using, which was heroin daily, meth daily, and a phenomenal amount of alcohol daily. And the materials provided indicate that she is recommended for treatment and she is eager to take that treatment.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record. All right, make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. All right. So do you have any children?
I do, but they're all grown.
Okay. All right. You're not going to be released today because what I'm going to order is, Ms. Abrams, I'm unaware. I don't know if felony drug court has started openings or no. All right. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. Because one, the reason why I ordered the TAP evaluation is I want you to be successful in this probation. And I see that there are some drug issues that are happening. So we want to make sure that you have all the tools you need to be successful. In this courtroom, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you ever feel as though you want to use or life is just hitting you and knocking you down, you can pick up the phone and call your probation officer and tell them, hey, I think I'm going to use. This is what's happening in my life. They're not going to send me a violation report saying revoke her. All violation reports come to me. And sometimes I will have compliance hearings where I have people come in to say, hey, what's going on? So I can hopefully get you back on track. And of course, there are some things that I can't get you back on track. If somebody picks up maybe a violent offense, you know, I keep an open mind about everything. But for that, maybe I'm just going to sign a motion and say, hey, motion to revoke. But if there's an issue with your drug use, which is what we're trying to address, you got to do your part and we'll do our part. Okay. So what I'm going to do, Ms. Abrams, in this case, I'm going to place her on probation, 6 years deferred adjudication. Here's the thing about that 6 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything early and you're doing great, the probation will send me a notice saying, hey, can you let her off probation early? She's got everything under control. She's doing great. And if that's the case, then I'll probably let you off early. You understand? So even though I'm saying 6 years deferred adjudication, whether you're on for 6 years or not is completely in your control. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. That means you have to report. And usually it's once a month. All right. If you need to report more than that because you're trying to stay on track with your sobriety, just let probation know. They'll make adjustments. Okay. There's going to be proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. So you can get a job, but not as a babysitter, or you can't babysit. You can't work as a home health care provider. Okay. There's going to be regular random UAs. And the UAs is where they test you for drug use. Okay. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Now, felony drug court is a great program. They're not going to be available to even consider accepting you till the beginning of February because of funding. I always tell everybody, talk to your legislature about getting them funding. So, Ms. Abrams, we're going to do a referral to felony drug court. And then I'm going to follow the recommendations of TAP evaluation. I want felony drug court first because they'll be able to address the drug issues plus the mental health issues. But we can also do a referral to DDRF, which is what they're recommending. If for some reason she's not accepted into that and she can't get into felony drug court, we'll bring her back and we'll consider another placement for you. Okay. I just don't want you out in the world with not any support. I'm going to want 120 sober meetings and 120 days upon release. And let me just see if there was anything else that was asked in your plea bargain agreement. All right, probation, is there any, there's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any grandchildren?
I have one.
And what's their age?
She's 2.
All right. And are you in contact with your family?
I have contact with them.
All right. So let me just tell you, sometimes people want people to babysit. You're not in the condition yet to be babysitting, right? But what I will do is I'll deduct 100 hours of your community service restitution. And I'm going to order that you complete parenting classes. That's to help you when you are clean and sober and you want to be around your grandchildren. How far did you go in school?
10th grade.
All right. And then I'll do another 100 hours if you obtain your GED or some sort of trade school certificate. So I believe that community service hours, sometimes helping the community, is you getting your GED, you getting good, stable employment. So you need to complete your parenting classes. I'll deduct 100 hours off of that. And probation, if she obtains her GED or trade school, that'll be another 100 hours. If you don't want to obtain your GED or in some sort of trade school, then you're going to have to do 100 hours of community service. And sometimes that means picking up trash off the highways and byways. You understand? Yes.
I've been to a trade school. I have my CDL.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've already been to trade schools before.
All right. Well, I tell you what, if your license is in order and you present that to probation, then I will deduct 100 hours of community service restitution.
Okay.
All right. Probation, is there anything else? I'm sorry, what? Yes. And MIC supervision. And that's a specialized caseload so they can address any issues you have. Anything else, probation? Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Yes.
I apologize. Mr. Hicks mentioned that she lived in Karnes County.
Ah,
She lives in Karnes County. However, she understands that she's gonna need to live here until,
all right. So are you okay with living in Bear County? All right. So she's okay with living in Bear County. All right. So counsel, I need your client to sign the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal.
we didn't do this before. We do. And where it says defendant. I got you there.
Right here.
Yes.
Thank you.
That
All right.
explains why I didn't sign one of those before. Actually, I did. I
Oh.
have one.
All right. Did you review the document with your attorney? It's called Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. It's this document
Yes.
that you just signed.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review that with him?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. In this court, as I said before, communication is key. If there is an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel that they're not addressing it, if the courthouse is open, I'll be here. You can come in and address it with me, okay? All right, if you need anything, let us know, all right? You're welcome. Probation is going to go over conditions with you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Hicks. Have a good one.
Oouchie Court Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie Court Watch, quick as a flash.